Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all of you. So we'll start with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Nitai Gaurang ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. So today we have started a new section of second chapter where Arjuna is asking question from Krishna, because Krishna has nicely described that you have to perform Buddhi Yoga, that is action in Krishna consciousness, and achieve the transcendental position. Situate yourself in the transcendental platform where there are no more the influence of three modes of material nature. So that was the inquiry of, so that was the understanding given by Krishna to Arjuna. So therefore Arjuna inquires that how will I understand that somebody has achieved that platform, Krishna, which you have asked me to achieve. Suppose somebody has achieved that platform of pure devotional service to Krishna, a pure transcendental platform, consciousness where there is Krishna always resides in his consciousness. So what are his symptoms? What are his characteristics? So can you just briefly describe me about all the symptoms of such a person? And therefore Arjuna inquires. So that is the first verse of this section. It starts from 2.54. So I'll share the screen. So this is the verse. In this verse, Arjuna is asking, स्थित प्रज्ञस्य का भासा समाधि स्तस्य केशव स्थित धी किम प्रभाषेता किम आसीत प्रजेत किम। अर्जुन ने पूछा, क्या पूछा? स्थित प्रज्ञ, जो स्थित प्रज्ञ है, मीन्स स्थित प्रज्ञ मीनिंग those who are transcendental, those who are having transcendental consciousness, those who are transcendently situated, that means who are pure devotees of the Lord, who are pure in their conduct, behavior, everything. What are their का भाषा, what is his language? पहला क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, जो ट्रांसेंडेंटली सिचुएटेड है उसका लैंग्वेज क्या है, भाषा। देन समाधि तस्य केशव, जो समाधि में लीन है वो केशव। स्थित धी मीन्स इंटेलिजेंस, जिसका बुद्धि कॉन्शियसनेस पूरी तरीके से समाधि में लीन है पूरा, ही इज एब्जॉर्ब्ड कंप्लीटली, हिज कॉन्शियसनेस इज फुल्ली एब्जॉर्ब्ड। देन किम प्रभासेता, हाउ डज ही स्पीक? पहला उन्होंने पूछा का भाषा, हाउ, व्हाट इज हिज लैंग्वेज। देन किम प्रभासेता, हाउ डज ही स्पीक। देन किम आशीता, how does he sits, how does he situate himself, Vrajet kim, and how does he walk? So 4 questions Arjuna is asking in this verse, that anybody who is Sthit Pragya, who is pure personality, who is pure devotee of Krishna, transcendental consciousness he has. So what is his language? First question, ka bhasa, what is his language? Then kim prabhaseta, how does he speak? Prabhaseta means बोलना, how does, वो कैसे बोलता है। फिर किम आसीत, कैसे बैठता है, how does he sit, and व्रजेत किम, वो कैसे चलता है, how does he walk. So these are the 4 questions कि क्या लैंग्वेज है उसका, हिंदी बोलता है, इंग्लिश बोलता है, संस्कृत बोलता है, बंगाली बोलता है, उर्दू बोलता है, मारवाड़ी बोलता है, कन्नड़ बोलता है, तेलुगु बोलता है, तमिल बोलता है, व्हाट इज हिज लैंग्वेज? प्योर डिवोटी, हाउ डज ही स्पीक? तो क्या ये इसका लिटरल मीनिंग है? लैंग्वेज जब बोला गया है तो उसका क्या लैंग्वेज इस लैंग्वेज को रेफर कर रहा है? विल सी दैट। एंड देन किम प्रभासेता, हाउ डज ही स्पीक? बहुत ही फैंटास्टिक स्पीच देता है, लोगों को अट्रैक्ट कर लेता है। तो कैसा उसका, सो क्या दिस ऑल these four questions are having literal meaning? No, actually these are not having literal meaning. इसका एक डीप मीनिंग छिपा है, इसका एक कॉन्टेक्चुअल मीनिंग है। कॉन्टेक्स्ट, जिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अर्जुन ने पूछा उसका हम मीनिंग समझेंगे। इसका एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है? भाषा मीन्स लैंग्वेज मीन्स व्हाट? हिंदी, इंग्लिश, और सम भाषा रेफर्स टू समथिंग एल्स। एंड हाउ डज ही वॉक? तो चलना मीन्स जैसा हम लोग चलते हैं, जो लिटरल वॉक है उसके बारे में अर्जुन पूछ रहे हैं कि सम अदर वॉक अर्जुन इज आस्किंग। एंड कैसे बैठता है, कैसे वो चलता है और बोलता है। So the translation is, Arjuna said, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? And how does he walk? चार क्वेश्चन अर्जुन पूछ रहे हैं। So I will share one PPT to you where it becomes even more clear. So this section starts from verse number 54 and goes till 71. And Arjuna has asked 4 questions. So Krishna will reply from verse number 55. From 55th verse, Krishna will start speaking. So in 55th verse, when अगर आपने अच्छे से 54th verse समझा होगा, तो इसमें पहला क्वेश्चन, what is the first question Arjuna is asking? That what is his language? जो ट्रांसेंडेंटली सिचुएटेड है उसका लैंग्वेज क्या है, का भाषा। सो लैंग्वेज मीन्स नॉट दिस लैंग्वेज हिंदी और इंग्लिश। लैंग्वेज मीन्स व्हाट आर हिज सिम्टम्स, उसके सिम्टम्स क्या है। एक जो प्योर पर्सनालिटी है, जो भगवान की सेवा में लगा हुआ है पूरी तरीके से, 100% ही इज एब्जॉर्ब्ड इन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, ही इज प्योर डिवोटी like Srila Prabhupada. So what are his symptoms? So that is the first question. Ka bhasha means ka symptoms. What is symptoms? So that is explained in 55th verse. In the verse number 55, Krishna has explained very nicely. And Krishna says, we'll go to the verse also. No desire for sense gratification. Mind finds satisfaction in the self. So these are the symptoms. He will never ever have any desire for sense gratification. Not even a least desire, and mind will always find satisfaction in the self. So this is the response of first question by Arjun, and answer is given in the 55th verse. Then second question was, first question was ka bhasha, then second question was kim prabhaseta. Prabhaseta means speak, means बोलना। प्रभासेता मीन्स बोलना होता है हिंदी में, संस्कृत में प्रभासेता बोलते हैं। सो हाउ डज ही स्पीक? दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्पीक मीन्स हाउ डज ही रिएक्ट टू अनकंफर्टेबल सर्कमस्टांसेस। बिकॉज लाइफ में सुख दुख आएंगे, प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे। लाइफ इज, एज आई से always, that life is not linear. Life is having so many curves, sine wave, it is like sine wave. All the problems will come in life. So how does he handle the difficult situations, all the upheavals, stumbling blocks जो आएगा, hurdles जो आएंगे उसके लाइफ में, and uncomfortable situation जो आएंगे. So how does he react to those situations? So that is the second question Arjuna has asked, and Krishna has responded in the verse 56 and 57. The second question of Arjun is explained in verse 56 and 57. We'll go and understand all these verses step by step. Just I am explaining that what are the questions of Arjuna. And third question was Kim Asita, means how does he sit? उसका मतलब ये है कि how does he control his senses, means वो अपने senses को control कैसे करता है, वो मतलब बैठा है कैसे बैठता है उसका, अगर आप सीधा सीधा उसका अनुवाद ट्रांसलेट करेंगे तो एक ट्रांसेंडेंटली सिचुएटेड पर्सन जो स्थित प्रज्ञ है वो कैसे बैठता है, ये इसका मतलब. बट एक्चुअली में इसका कॉन्टेक्चुअल मीनिंग है, जो इंटरनल मीनिंग है, दैट इज वो अपनी सेंसेस को कैसे कंट्रोल करके रखता है, सेंसेस को कैसे बैठा के रखता है. Otherwise, senses are very active. No, senses always demands this, that. Anything you see, senses they will perceive. They want to enjoy that particular object. Sense sees sense object, immediately senses they want to enjoy, indulge into it. So, a Krishna conscious person, a pure personality, a sthit pragya, how he controls his senses, that is the third question of Arjuna. And these responses are explained. Krishna has explained this question in the verses from 58 till 63 by giving the example of tortoise. So Krishna starts with giving the example of tortoise, that just like a tortoise, when there is a need, then it will take out its limbs from the shell. But when there is no need of the limbs to take out from the shell, it will withdraw it inside the shell. If there is no use of the limbs to take it out, the tortoise, what will it do? It will simply withdraw and will stay very nicely, calmly. Whatever you do, you may beat a tortoise, but he is unaffected. He is not least bothered. He is not into problems because he has withdrawn all his limbs inside the shell. So Krishna starts giving the response of this third question by referring to the example of tortoise. Just see how nicely Krishna has explained by giving the different examples. Here Krishna has given the example of tortoise. We'll see many examples Krishna will give in this section. Many examples like rivers and boat, and then lotus का भी example आएगा आगे चल के. Lotus is there in the midst of the mud, but still it is pure. It is maintaining its purity. So in the same way, a Krishna conscious person is like that. Even though a person is surrounded by all kinds of nasty, obnoxious, ridiculous things, people may ridicule him about the activity what a Krishna conscious man can perform, but he is not bothered. He maintains his purity like lotus, even though it is surrounded by all kinds of bad elements. So similarly, Krishna has given the analogy of tortoise over here and gives the understanding of the third question. And what is the fourth question? Fourth question was, how does he walk? वो कैसे चलता है? जो स्थित प्रज्ञ व्यक्ति है, one who is situated in transcendental consciousness, how does he walk? The meaning is, how does he engage his senses? Means जब वो चलता है तो senses are very active. So how will he engage his senses? Because it is not that senses are given, you should not use the senses. Senses should be used, but how to engage the senses, where to use the senses. So these are the four questions, and Krishna explained this fourth question in a very detailed way from verse number 64 to 71. And that's how second chapter gets over. So now you can see, now the upcoming discussions are going to be very interesting and full of practical implementation, practical tips, teachings, and all those things. So you see, we also many times, face these problems. Suppose you want to get a you want to check a real spiritual master. Who is actually a spiritual master? What should be his quality? Whether he should be good looking, having a big beard, or he should be having a put big tilak on his forehead, or he should speak very nicely, eloquently. Oh, what are his symptoms? So the same question Arjuna inquired, and he made our journey very simple. He made our, and in fact, Arjuna is taking the role of us and inquiring on our behalf, so that we may not remain in the darkness of oblivion, that we may go and accept anybody as spiritual master and a pure devotee. No. So these are the four questions, and you can note down where all Krishna, from where Krishna has started answering which question. Like 55th first question Krishna has responded, 56, 57 second question, 58 to 63 third question, and from 64 to 71 fourth question Krishna has responded. That's how second chapter gets over. Shri Krishna Balaram. So let us go back to our verse where Arjuna has asked question. So just see these four questions. How does he speak? Kya ka bhasa? What is his language? How does he speak? And how does he sit? And how does he walk? So ka bhasa means symptoms. Kim prabhaseta means, bhasa means language. Language means the language is referring to symptoms. Prabhaseta means speak. Speak means how does he handles a tough time, uncomfortable situation in his life. Or Kim asita means how does he sit? How does he sit refers to how he controls his senses. Brajet Kim means walks. How does he walk? How does he walk refers to how he engages his senses. So these are the four inquiries done by Arjuna. And Prabhupada nicely writes in the purport that everybody has got a symptom. Everything, just like a doctor, a patient, an engineer, rich man, an intelligent man, learned man, anybody you see, everybody has got a symptoms. Everybody has got symptoms. Not that you go to a doctor or a lawyer and without any symptom you accept anybody. A lawyer will have a symptom. A doctor will have a symptom. Engineer will have a symptom. If he is not having symptom, he is not engineer. So similarly, a Krishna conscious person also has a symptom. So same thing Prabhupada is writing. There are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation. Similarly, one who is Krishna conscious has his particular nature. Talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. As a rich man has his symptoms by which he is known as a rich man. As a diseased man has his symptoms by which he is known as diseased. Or as a learned man has his symptoms. So a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various cases. जिस तरीके से सबका एक symptom है. Everybody has got symptoms. Every occupation, every situation has got a symptom. What are the symptoms? That it is the daytime. What are the symptoms? How you will identify that now it is daytime? There will be light. You can see everything very clearly. So in the same way, every Krishna conscious person also has got a well-defined symptoms. So we should not go blindly and accept anybody as a spiritual master, pure devotee, guru. Guru किसी को नहीं बना सकते हैं. गुरु का एक definition है और हम लोग उसको देखेंगे. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. So, प्रभुपाद यहाँ एग्जांपल दे रहे हैं, जैसे एक मूर्ख व्यक्ति है, बहुत अच्छे से कपड़ा पहन के वेल ड्रेस्ड आ जाए, so we cannot identify that whether he is a good, very gentleman, intelligent man or a fool. But as soon as he starts speaking, you immediately identify, oh, this is a fool number one. ये तो मूर्ख आदमी. So speaking is very important quality of everybody, है ना? By speech only you present yourself. If your speech is very loose, very loosely you keep talking, discussing all the nasty things, vulgar talks. So it shows your personality. So the immediate symptom of Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow as stated below. So symptoms of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and matters related to him. So एक जो pure devotee है, he will be only talking about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. It's like you see the life of Prabhupada. He was always 24 hours engaged in Krishna. He will be talking about Krishna. He will be doing activities about Krishna. He will be discussing about Krishna. He will be doing activities about Krishna. Everything about Krishna. So that is the symptom. First verse we'll see the response of first question, and then we'll conclude. Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Krishna now starts again speaking. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogadan atmani vatmana tushta sthit pragyastadocchate. Very beautiful verse. This is revealing a very nice, interesting understanding. Krishna is saying, Blessed Lord said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sins desired, which arise from mental concoction. This is very, very important to note. Mental concoction. Krishna बोल रहे हैं, all the desires, they arise from mental concoction. What is mental concoction means? Man gadhant. Mind mein we have concocted, we have done so much of psyching, we have hyped it so much, concocted so much that we develop desire. Just like when you watch a trailer of any movie which is going to be released, then what happens? Just by seeing the trailer, you concoct in your mind, in your brain, that this movie is going to be very, very hit. And movie ka trailer dekh ke hi we book the ticket also of the movie, that I have to watch this movie. Because you, by seeing the trailer of the movie, you have concocted, you have hyped so much. That is called concoction. Actually, movie में कोई substance नहीं है. That is movie. Everything is imagination. In the beginning itself, they say that all the characters, all the roles, all the episodes are all imaginary in the movie. But we long for it. हम उसको book करके we go and waste our time. Why? Because we have seen the trailer. And trailer देख के we have hyped. Oh, this movie, if I don't see, then my life will be wasted. I cannot be happy without seeing this movie. I must go and watch this movie. तो हम टिकट करते हैं और जाते ही मूवी देखते हैं. और while we are seeing movie, watching the movie, we derive so much of pleasure because you have already concocted by watching the trailer of the movie. और आपने इतना hype कर रखा है कि वो जो chemical brain में release होता है, that dopamine, when it gets released, then you get pleasure, you get joy, you get delight. Actually, there is no pleasure in the movie. You are sitting in the theater, there are three colors, three patches of color which are reflected on the screen, and you are just seeing three colors, nothing else, three colors on the wall. But you have connected in such a way that these colors are appearing to you as a complete world altogether, and you are actually feeling that there are actor, actress, villain, complete world you see in that movie theater. How it is all happening? Just because of concoction. You see, this is the play of concoction. This world is running through concoction. We have concocted everything. By hearing, by watching, by discussing, we concoct. अरे बहुत मजा आएगा, एक बार जाके तू देखना. सपोज कोई शिमला से घूम के आया और आपको पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया, तो क्या करेंगे आप? You concoct about that place because you heard from that person. He explained that Shimla is this, like this, like that. You enjoy like this, and यहाँ पर you can do skating and all those things. What he enjoyed, that he came and explained to you. Snowfall होता है वहाँ, ये है वो है, so many things. Now you also have concocted. You start concocting, mind में hype करने लगते हैं, and then when we go, we also enjoy. But what happens? Suppose आपने शिमला के बारे में सुना ही नहीं, first time you go, then you will not feel so much. Another example I would give, suppose if I give the gulab jamun first time, then you will not enjoy that much. हाँ ठीक है, एक pleasure मिलेगा, objective pleasure, what the pleasure which are there in the object, rasgulla, gulab jamun, that pleasure you will get. But now because you have got the taste of gulab jamun and you understand, oh, this is the taste of gulab jamun, then what will happen? Second time, if you see the gulab jamun, just by seeing, all those feelings will come in your conscious mind. Oh, gulab jamun is very tasty. Then you will long, you will desire to get that gulab jamun. And you, because that experience of tasting gulab jamun is already there, stored in your subconscious. The moment you saw the gulab jamun, that subconscious got loaded into consciousness, and all the experience, taste, it is there in your consciousness, and you want to get it. Somehow or other, you want to have it, that gulab jamun. And as soon as you get the gulab jamun, you enjoy more than first time. First time you had gulab jamun, that was very nice. But when the second time you get the gulab jamun, the taste is even more, because now the second time the taste was not only objective pleasure. The taste was equal to the pleasure in the object plus high pleasure, concocted pleasure, which you concocted by seeing the gulab jamun. Oh, gulab jamun is very nice, very tasty. It is so sweet. And both the taste gets added, and then you enjoy the gulab jamun. That's objective pleasure plus concocted pleasure equals to you enjoy the pleasure, total pleasure which you enjoy. So this is what, big cheating going on. Mind cheats us. Concoct करके हम चीजों को, actually everything is dead matter. Sense object में कोई आनंद नहीं है. Everything is dead. This material world is dead. But by seeing beautiful forms or anything which are tempting to our senses, we think that if I get it, I will be very happy. अरे वो डेड मैटर है, उसको लेने से कोई हैप्पीनेस नहीं मिलेगा. बट that experience, that understanding is there in our brain, and we have hyped it so much that as soon as we get it, we enjoy. So you are not enjoying the taste which is coming from the object. You are enjoying the taste which you have already hyped, and now the moment you get it, dopamine is released in your brain through concoction. Because you have concocted so much, you have hyped so much, आपने ऐसा वायरिंग कर दिया है ब्रेन में कि जैसे ही ऑब्जेक्ट मिलता है आपको बहुत मजा आता है. और वो मजा ऑब्जेक्ट में नहीं है, ऑब्जेक्ट के मिलने के कारण जो आपने कॉन्कॉक्शन किया था वो केमिकल रिलीज होता है, डोपामिन, वहां से आपको मिलता है. सो दिस इज ऑल माइंड गेम. दिस मटीरियल प्लेजर इज ऑल माइंड गेम. देयर इज नो रियल प्लेजर. सब्सटेंस में कोई प्लेजर नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत प्लेजर होगा, ऑब्जेक्टिव प्लेजर, जो भी गुलाब जामुन में थोड़ा सा टेस्ट है, लेकिन हम उसको हाइप करके इतना कर देते हैं. इन द सेम वे सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन में भी कोई आनंद नहीं होता, बट वी in the brain we have concocted so much that we derive so much of satisfaction when we get it. So because a self-realized person is still he understands this, that there is no happiness in sense gratification. It is all cheating. It is all concoction. There is no substance. There is no reality. He does not take part into this. He understands that the actual pleasure is in Krishna. Krishna consciousness में Krishna से जो pleasure मिलता है, that is not concocted pleasure. That is substantial pleasure. That pleasure is because Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you have not hyped, you have not concocted, but you get. So that pleasure is original pleasure. That pleasure is substantial pleasure. And here sense gratification में जो हमें आनंद मिलता है, that is imaginary pleasure, concocted pleasure. तो इसीलिए कोई एक सेल्फ रियलाइज पर्सन है, उसको एंजॉय नहीं करता. वो समझता है ये क्या चीटिंग है. तो कृष्णा में एंजॉय करता है, कृष्णा में एब्जॉर्ब करता है अपने माइंड को, और वहां से वो उसकी लाइफ ब्लिसफुल रहती है. It is rightly said here in that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction. Artificially such sense desire cannot be stopped. और दूसरी चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, इसको आप आर्टिफिशियली स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते ये बोल के कह रहे ये तो mental concoction. नहीं, mental concoction game is very powerful, very powerful game. This is so easily we cannot get out of this. saying that this is mental concoction. You will be bound, you will be forced to do mental concoction. And you will be bound to go and enjoy that. So artificially you cannot have this. So Prabhupada kya bol rahe? Such sense desires cannot be stopped. But if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous effort. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation. तो प्रभुपाद बोल रहे हैं कि आर्टिफिशियली आप नहीं अचीव कर सकते एक प्योर डिजायर कि हम सेंस डिजायर बिल्कुल नहीं करेंगे. सेंस डिजायर आप करेंगे बिकॉज हम लोग हैबिचुएटेड हो चुके हैं, हम एम्पलीफाई कर लेते हैं. वी आर बाउंड टू एम्पलीफाई बाय सीइंग द सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट. तो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस करते 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 वो चीजें फिर रिड्यूस हो जाती है. वन डे इट बिकम्स जीरो एंड देन वी एंजॉय कृष्णा प्लेजर, वी एंजॉय सोल प्लेजर, वी एंजॉय रियल प्लेजर which is true pleasure, not this concocted pleasure. So a self-realized person, a Krishna conscious person like Prabhupada, they have fully understood, realized it, so therefore they don't indulge into sense gratification. Even if most beautiful Apsara comes, pure devotee will not enjoy. Like Arjuna went to heavenly planet, Urvasi. Urvasi is the most celebrated girl in heavenly planet. So he proposed Arjun to enjoy, but Arjun said, "You are like my mother. How can I enjoy with you?" So that is the situation of pure devotee. Because he understands this happiness is not the real. Okay. So here I'll stop. If you have any question, I thought of sharing another video, but time is not there. Tomorrow I'll share that video. How habits gets formed. ये जो यहाँ पर प्रभुपाद बोल रहे हैं, it is not so easy to get out of sense desire. ये डिजायर की जो हैबिट बनी है ना, ये कैसे बनती है हम लोग कल देखेंगे. There are 4 stages how habit gets formed. This is very very important to see. This is very all based on psychological understanding. कल हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. Here we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any question, you can ask. Question is how to get out of sleeping more. Eat less, you will sleep less. आप ज्यादा खा रहे होंगे इसलिए आप सो रहे हैं ज्यादा. Simple. Sleep is proportional to eat. More you eat, more you will sleep. So and more of you take fruits, salads, juice, such items when you consume, then you will not feel drowsiness. You will not feel sleepy more. Grain items should go less in our body if you are feeling too much of sleep. Some more of fruits, juices, salads, all these items, liquid juices. You drink water, maybe mostly probably you may not be drinking water much, therefore you are getting a lot of sleep. So drink water. And why do we get sleep? Because of less of oxygen. If oxygen is less in our body, then we feel drowsy, we feel sleepy. So when you feel sleepy, you go out and take deep breathing. You take a heavy breathing. 5 to 10 minutes you take inhale, exhale. You will not get sleep. And like this, you can curtail your sleeping slowly. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And keep chanting regularly. Start reading books if you have not started. Nicely read books and become a preacher. All of you should preach now. We have sufficiently discussed. Now a basic understanding all of you have got. So now you start doing preaching also. Preach to the students, all your friend circles, and influence them. Don't be influenced. Become influencer, not influenced. So it is very important. Now start preaching. For that you have to read books. That is very very nice. Okay. Hare Krishna.